My name is Ben A. I am an artist and a producer underneath Moody Recordings. And today I'm just going to go through and introduce you to the sample pack and show you the content. And we're going to pull up a session here that I've already started. Now I'm working out of Logic Pro X. It is a DAW through Apple Music. Now you could use Ableton Live, Fruity Loops, FL Studio. You could use Pro Tools. There's a number of different DAWs out there that are excellent for music production, but today I'm going to be working out of Logic Pro. Now, I'm going to go through and introduce you to the sample pack. So in the sample pack itself, I already have this pulled up on an external hard drive. Now you've got bass loops, beat loops, clap loops, fills, effects, kick loops, music loops, percussion loops, single hits, top loops, and vocal loops. Now in each one of these folders, they have a wide variety of different loops that you can go through and use in your production, in your remix, or whatever project that you're doing. Today we're going to be working out of the beat loops folder. Now the beat loops folder has 5 different tracks in here for you to go through and audition and use. Now, if you're running into kind of a starting problem or writer's block is what I'd call it. Now, these are great for getting started with creating a groove. And that's what we're going to be doing right now is I'm going to show you how to create a groove. And then we're going to get into a track layout. Let me explain what I've got opened up in our session right now. So far, I've got 3 tracks already here. I've got my sidechain at the top for sidechain compression. I've got my kick, and I've got my bass drum. All right, I've already arranged the session at 122 beats per minute, and we're currently at the 33 measure. So let's go through and open up the groove beat. That's what folder I'm going to be working out of today. And in the groove beat, you've got bass, clap, crash, fills, effects, kicks, mix, percussion loop, top loop, and vocal loop. So let's go through and listen to the mix itself so you get an idea of what we're going to be working with. All right. Now in Logic Pro, there is an audition window down here in the right corner. Now, this gives you a great idea of auditioning, what's in the sample pack before you go through and put it into your session. If you want to hear what's going on within the sample pack, this audition window is a great tool. So let's listen to it for a little bit. All right. So what we have here is the groove beat, and all these tracks are made to work with each other. I don't know if I've said that before, but I'm going to go through and add 7 different tracks to our project here. And then I'm going to make sure that these are all in stereo. All right. And let's make sure that we have everything lined up. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go through and start adding things into our session. So let's go through and we're going to add the beat fill. We're going to add the beat effects. And then we're going to add the beat percussion loop. Now, you can hear this already going on. That's, again, the audition in Logic. That's kind of how the workflow works. And let's go through and add our top loops. And there's the top loop. You can hear the hi-hat. All right, and let's go through and add the clap. There it is. You can hear the addition again. And let's go through and add the crash cymbal. And last is the vocal. All right, so let's go through and add that. All right, so now we've got everything added into our session. Let's go through and listen to what we've got going on here. So first thing I want to do is I am going to color coordinate everything because I like my workflow to So I like to be able to, I'm a visual person. I like to see what I'm working with. So right now I'm going to add some colors to everything. So we've got our vocals, we've got our 2 hi-hat loops, and I color those in yellow. And then we've got our drums. I usually keep those in a darker color. Let's go with blue. And then let's get that bass line so we could actually see what color that guy is. There we go. So now I've got everything color coordinated. Let's go through and just listen to the session right now. Now, keep in mind, I'm just coming up with a groove right now. And then what we're going to do after I create this groove is we're going to go through and we're going to get into a layout. Now, in the layout, I'm going to have a bunch of different effects going on, and I'm going to have some other things that I'm going to show you. I'm also going to show you how we are going to be using the sidechain. All right, guys, so I'm back with the layout completed. I was going through and explaining to you that I was using a track that I've previously produced with for my layout. I put this up here at the top. It's in green, so you could see kind of where I was going through and getting the idea for the track. So, for instance, you know, I've got my first bass line coming in here at 33, and I've got another breakdown at 65, and another, you know, bass line major elements of the track coming in back in at 97. So this kind of gives me the idea for my layout. The reason why I use it is so that I don't have to overthink when it comes to production. I know it works. You know, I've used it in my own format as far as DJing, playing out live. So, but you have your option to do a couple different things. That's just an easy tip that I use. So let's go through and kind of break down the track real quick. First off, let's go through and play it. Now, I've added a couple other loops from the sample pack. I've added the tap hats to start off the track. I'm going to do a proper introduction to 25, 33 bars, 33 measures. Keep it DJ friendly. These effects that I added and the splash effects, both of those came out of the effects folder in the sample pack. Just going to minimize this guy. All right, so we are at the 25 measure mark, and I bring in my tap kick, and I've got a little beat effects coming in right here, and a beat fill. All right, so we're in the mix. We're in the middle of the track. I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna start the track here at 33 measures. Whoops. Just to give you guys an idea on what I use my sidechain for. So I'm gonna just solo my kick and solo my bass. So the sidechain channel right here, let's go through and pull up the mixing board. So I have this at no output. And what that means is it's just a dummy trigger. So it's acting like a kick drum, but there's no kick there. All right. So what I do is I go through and I put my compressor on my bass, and then I sidechain it to audio 1, which is my sidechain channel. So what that means is my bass line is never going to be competing with my kick drum at the peak of the kick. So there's a little sidechain tip for you to use in future. And let's go back and get back into the session. All right, I've added some vocal delays down here at the bottom. So I kind of broke down our original vocal that we had right here, and I added it with some delay. And the delay that I'm using is going to be the tape delay with some feedback. And I'm using a third-party plugin called the Valhalla Room, which is $50. It's a great plugin, third-party plugin that I use. But you could use whatever reverbs you want. It's up to you. And we're right into the breakdown. 81 measures. Again, I'm using my tap kick, which is not as powerful as my kick. I'm using a bass, a mid bass at the beginning and then also in the middle of the track. And we're back into the breakdown. So during the breakdown, one of the things that I do is I just try to minimize everything to get back to the original groove that we kind of started. Adding in some effects, giving it some third layers. I also have these tap hats going on with some, I'm using the Valhalla on them also to kind of give them some reverb. The clap. In the clap, I also have, I'm using the Valhalla as well for reverb. It's just an easy, quick plugin that I like to use. It's kind of like one of my go-tos. And we're back into, looks like we're at the 4-minute mark of the track. And a couple things that I want to point out is sometimes less is more in your production. You know, a lot of people produce a lot of busy tracks. I like to keep my tracks kind of simple. This isn't a full track yet. I would probably need to add a couple more layers, but I kind of wanted to give you a good idea on how easy it is to use a sample pack and get into some production as far as when you're just starting out or if you're looking for new ideas. So we're getting ready to go into the final mix out of our track. Now, we're at the 161 measure mark right here. And you got to remember, as a DJ, that's probably where you're going to start mixing in. So if you're mixing in, you're going to give yourself, 24 measures to mix in properly. At least I do, depending on what style you're producing and what kind of style you're also playing. Now, here's the last little smidbit that we have with our bass line. And then we go into the lower bass. So this is the outro. And the outro is pretty easy to kind of write. It's going to be similar to your intro, your introduction. And I always kind of do these little things at the end, just add the vocals, the effects, just to kind of give the track a little bit more feel at the end of the track. And we're done at 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Cool. So first off, I wanted just to say thanks for watching this tutorial, the Moody Recordings Underground Sample Pack Volume 3. My name is Ben A. Definitely wanted to go through and just, again, thank you guys. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to reach out to us. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial.